Whenever I'm having guests over, I love having go-to quick recipes that I can make on a whim, especially when they use things that I have preserved on my own. Today I'm going to use the wonderful canned apples we brought to you last fall to make a simple and rustic, personal galette for each guest. All it takes is one recipe worth of our pie dough that we have on our blog, and a jar of the fabulous canned apples. These are so simple, so delicious. Your guests are just going to love them. Let's get started. For the dough, we're using one recipe of our pie dough. This will make 6 individual galettes, or little rustic tarts. They're just kind of free-form tarts that you don't need to worry too much about how they look because they come together and look amazing on their own. I've prepared the pie dough and have had it in the fridge chilling. You can have it in the fridge for up to a week if it's well wrapped, or in your freezer for up to a month if you want to make these ahead and just have them ready to go. I'm going to take it out of the plastic wrap and cut it into 6 equal portions. I'm going to make them into a small disc and then roll them out on top of a little flour into about an 8-inch circle. Always roll from the middle, just like you're rolling a pie crust. But with this, you don't have to worry about keeping it extremely even around the sides and in a perfect circle. You'll see why in a minute. Once your 8-inch circles are ready, you want to place them onto a prepared baking pan. An unlined baking sheet or sheet pan is fine for this. In the middle of each tart, I'm going to place about 1/4 cup of our canned apples. Placing 1/4 cup in the center, I'm making sure to leave about 2 inches around the edge of my shell. If you didn't can apples with me last fall, you can of course use some fresh apples, but I would first blanch them in some hot water and then add some sugar and cinnamon to give them flavor. Or you can buy an apple pie filling from the store too. Now I'm going to fold up the edges of my unused shell around itself. You can see how it doesn't need to be a perfect circle for this. Overlap and just press it together to make sure it adheres to itself. When you're done, you just want to lightly brush the outsides with a little bit of cream. This not only helps the flavor, but also gives a great place for some sugar to stick to. Dust the top with a little bit of gourmet white sanding sugar. You can use granulated sugar too. I just like using the extra big for a more glorious look in the end. I'm also going to sprinkle on some toasted walnuts. I've just lightly toasted them in a 375-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they smell fragrant. You don't have to add these, and they're of course optional, but I think toasted walnuts and apples go so well together. Now we're ready to bake. Place these into a 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes until the edges are golden brown and the middle is just starting to bubble. Once you let these cool in the pan for about 5 minutes, they're ready to serve to your guests. What I love about this recipe is you can make as many or as few as you want. You can cut your dough and freeze the pieces you don't use, or make it all. You are going to love these. You can adapt it to any fruit or any canned pie filling. I hope you enjoy this rustic and simple apple galette.